Hey all, I am getting on a little bit early so I get everything set up, so just ignore me. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out how to make my screen while I'm reading.
Can y'all see my slides? Just checking.
No.
No? Okay. Okay, what about now? Can y'all see it?
No.
Oh, brother, I'm not gonna have my.
No, it's just blank screen.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, y'all hang tight for a little bit, and I'll be right back.
This is a scene.
Cabinet out there. Or is the one you were writing with? I don't know.
Oh, Phil, you missed it again.
Not everyone wants to follow the crowd, especially when they have a truck capable of taking them farther.
Can y'all see me or just the screen?
Just the screen and
Okay, cool.
I can see you. I can see a small picture of you.
Cups, glory, well,
It's the presentation.
Financing for 60 months on the 26 Ram 1500. 32 pending.
And you have a digital notebook to capture and estimate this that instantly gives you stock prices, earnings, and dividends. An equity summary suite that consolidates the stock ratings of top analysts into a single score.
How do you turn your picture off?
$7.95 online US equity trades. Lower than TD Ameritrade and Schwab.
Kathleen's picture. No, I don't see it. Please come and help me.
But who invested?
Stop video.
doctors choose an OTC company for their patients' muscle, fat, and joint.
All right, y'all, we'll get started here in a little bit. People are hopping on, so I'm glad I got the capacity for the larger call because we already have 72 people on, and It does cap it. The old call or my old conference call number capped at 100. So this one goes to 200. So I'm hopeful that, I'd love 200 people, but I'm hoping everybody who wanted to get on the call is able to get on. So
How do I mute myself?
I'll mute you, but I believe you should see on your screen, there's a little bar that says mute or a little microphone. Do you see that?
No, I'm not seeing it, but that's okay if you're going to mute it.
Yeah, I'll mute it. So
Okay, thanks.
you're welcome.
Hey, Ellen, I have an ambassador, a runner that's wanting to be on here, but she has to work. Are you recording this for us?
Yeah, I believe it records automatically. And let me double check that. I'll make sure it is recording. Yeah, it is recording. And it will send me a link to the entire call, and I'll just have to kind of download it and then put it on our team page. So I'll double check that it'll record, but mine will usually put it all together and just send me a link. So
Okay, would it be posted on Andrea's team page since some people
I'll try to post it on there as well. I know I'll post it on mine, and then if I can get it downloaded and all that stuff tonight, I'll put it on both of them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's what I'm. See you. I was trying to do something too, though. Because she's not started yet, so. Yeah. Oh.
There it is.
My name just keeps going lower and lower. I've settled it in my mind that I'm pretty much one team will lose. That one team, the local red line, will be eliminated.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody because we're starting to crank up over 100 here, and it'll get a little crazy with the sound on. If you do see a mute button on your computer screen, go ahead and hit it. I'm going to mute. I'll probably have to mute several times, but if you can, go ahead and do it. And you will notice that it says Andrea Mitchell by my name, and it's obviously I'm Ellen. I'm not Andrea, but I'm just using her dial-in because it has room for more people. So y'all sit tight and we'll wait. Let's see, it's only 8:55, so we have several minutes. So if you need to go grab a drink or take a potty break or whatever, feel free to do that, and we'll get started here in a minute. I still have kids that are not quite in bed, so they may be running in here periodically. Hopefully not, but I'm sure y'all know how that goes. I'll make sure we got it. Okay.
Hello, Andrea Mitchell.
I look a little bit different, right?
Yeah, just a little. This is so awesome that you get to use hers because she has the subscription, right?
Yeah, I have one too. I'm just for this call, I am using hers because it has a larger capacity. And right now we're at 150 people on the call, and mine only went up to 100. So I'm using hers, but probably after tonight, I will be upgrading my subscription. I was waiting until the time when I actually needed it before I just purchased. So she definitely bailed me out this time.
Well, are you going to be making this PowerPoint available after the call?
Yeah, I need to kind of tweak a couple of things. So because the call is recording, it's going to need the slides with it, because if someone were to listen to the call, they would get a lot out of just the call part. But, I think it's always like to put, if I'm going to do a PowerPoint or something, I like it to go with the call so people can kind of see the whole picture. So I'll kind of get it to looking a little better, and then I'll post it all together.
Awesome. And then do you have an idea of how long the call's going to be?
I'm not really sure. I just wrote this training and put this together this weekend. So
yeah.
I would imagine it won't go over an hour. I'm trying to get it done 30, 40 minutes, but we will see.
Awesome. Thanks, sister.
Sure. All right, we'll give a couple more minutes till looking like people are joining. All right. We're getting done. And then okay, well. Not long. Like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. Sorry. Yeah. Will you close the door? Okay. Love you. Oh, I'll be in. That's one kid. I got probably one more swinging by. They're always very curious about seeing everybody on the phone. All right, looks like we have, so the call's about to max out. So as soon as it does, I will go ahead and start. Let's see, four spots left. 3. This is kind of fun. 2, 1. All right, we are maxed out at 2. All right, we are maxed out, so I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody again. If you have a mute button, I think I got everybody, but if someone comes in, drops off or comes in late, if you'll make sure you're muted, or if you know of anybody that, comes in, they're being crazy, if you'll have them mute, that'll be awesome. thank y'all for being on the call tonight. Level 1 recruiting and getting people to join is kind of my passion and my specialty, I believe. I'm not strong in all areas of Plexus, but I love people to come and join my team and come see what the products are all about and see what the business is all about. So I love this part of it, and I'm excited to share what I have with you guys tonight. One thing I would I'll just say caution you. As you know, or most of you know, Zoom calls are recorded, and they are, you are on video. So I always like to tell people that in case you are kicked back laying in bed or laying on the couch or relaxing or anything like that, just realize unless you turn off your video, everyone on this call can see you. And just like to throw that out there. So if you'd rather it be a picture of the ceiling or move your camera, whatever, feel free to do that. Won't hurt my feelings. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. This call is about how to sign level 1 ambassadors. I think that is one of the most, the biggest areas of curiosity with this business, because that's how you grow your teams. That is how you get residual income. And this is how you rank up. Having a ton of customers is awesome. That is how, when I first started Plexus, I tried to get a bunch of customers and tell as many people about the products because I loved them. I loved what they did for me, and I wanted people to come experience the products. But as I've kind of figured out, customers only stay around for a little while. People will only be customers for a certain length of time, and they will either join your team or they will, go bye-bye and either, drop off and go do something else or not do anything. So they go one of two ways. And, there are very few long-term customers in this business, just because people will try it a few months, and if they, if they love it and they want the discount, they'll jump in. If they're like, I didn't get the magic fairy dust sprinkled over me, so I'm out. So keep that in mind when you are thinking about growing your teams. Customers are awesome. It's a fantastic way to start, but adding people to your team is the way to rank up and advance in the company. So let's kind of dive right into it. People think that they're going to get on a call. I know for me, I thought I'm going to jump on a call one day and someone is going to give me all the secrets I need to signing people up. And how do I do that? And I'm going to, I listened to all these calls in the beginning, and I kept hearing the same kind of stuff over and over and over. And there's not really a magical potion that, we're going to sprinkle and then boom, everybody's going to come out of the walls to join our team. So I put together three different things that I believe are absolute key to signing level 1 ambassadors. And there are essentials. Can everybody see the slides, by the way? I guess go like that if you can see them. Yes. Y'all see the slides? I don't see anybody nodding. Get some heads. Okay, yes. Can see them. All right, awesome. All right. So the essentials that you need for signing level 1s are a foundation, action, and consistency. And, I've been a Plexus ambassador for 2 years, and I have used these 3 action items, and this is the key right here. These 3 things are the key. So, just like you would with a house, you can't just immediately start with the top part of the house and build down. You have to start at the bottom. You got to lay a foundation. You have to kind of set a precedent for your home. You got to set a precedent for who you want on your team. You got to set that, foundation firm so that you can build. And the things about foundation, we hear a lot of these things over and over and over, and we're like, yeah, I do that. I do that a little bit. Yeah, I need to work on that. But these things that we're going to go over tonight these are the things that will get people to join your team. posting 3 to 5 times a day. I tell my team 3 to 5 times a day, because if you're like, oh, that's annoying, I don't want to do that. If I posted once a day about plexus, I bet over half, probably 80% of my friends may never see it, because it's once a day, and they would have to magically be on Facebook at that exact time of day to see it. But if I'm posting regularly and I'm constantly in people's news feeds, more people are going to see my message, more people are going to see my posts, and I'm going to get a broader audience to look at my post. I always say 3 plexus posts and 2 personal non-plexus posts. We have to maintain our non-plexus friends. And if you just go, I'm going to post 5 times a day about plexus, you're going to get some people that are like, where's my friend at? When I first started plexus, all I knew was I'm going to blow up Facebook with everything plexus graphics. I'm going to blow this up. And I had some of my friends that were like, where's my funny Ellen friend that used to make me crack up on Facebook? And I was like, man, that's such a good reminder of how I need to balance my post. You need to be real and think about what you're known for. Do you homeschool? Are you a working mom? Are you a great cook? Are you crunchy? Do you have special needs children? What are you known for? Post about that. People want to know you and your life, and this is a window into your life and how you work plexus into it. And if you're like, well, I'm a homeschool mom, and I want to know, connect with other people that are homeschool moms and kind of see what they post and what they're doing. They incorporate it all into what they're doing. So think about what are you known for? What is your specialty? What is your passion besides plexus? And I always tell people, don't use canned graphics. People ignore the canned graphics. And what I mean by that is, if we go on Google and go plexus, and we see all these little graphics that people have created that have been posted a million times, people might see it, but if you're doing that all day long, they start to ignore it. I know if I see a graphic on Facebook, this is true, I ignore it, because I want to see personal pictures. I want to see what is going on in people's lives. There's no emotional connection with a graphic, 0. If it's a picture of you and your kids or your situation, I'm emotionally, connected to that, because especially for women, we emotionally connect to other women's stories, and your audience of, who's out there and who's interested in potentially wanting to do this with you, wants to see in kind of through the window. They want to look through the window and see, what kind of person is she? What's she doing? Is this legit, or is she going to be hiding behind graphics? Which is our next point. If you're posting graphics all day long, people are just not going to be interested in that. There might be a few people that reach out to you, but that's going to, if you say, oh, I post all day long every day, is what you're posting, you got to think about, is what I'm posting something that would catch my eye? Can people see my passion for the products and the business when I post? Or are they seeing me post a picture of a truck that's bringing a bunch of plexus boxes? That's one post that sticks out in my head. It's like this graphic that if you Google plexus, it pops up. And remember, social media, is a vital part of this business. If you are not on social media, then you need to, after this call, that'll be your homework, go make an account and start posting, because the way our world is working right now, social media is the #1 outlet where we go every single day. I nearly tore the house down the other day because I could not find my phone. Sweating, mad, like, oh my gosh, unfortunately, we are very, very tied to our phones and the internet, and, our newspapers, Facebook. We love Instagram for pictures. I'd also encourage you to set up a LinkedIn account if you don't already have one. I've had a lot of people reach out to me as a result of seeing my plexus stuff on LinkedIn, because it's a whole new audience. That's almost and I don't want it to sound weird, but it's like those are the professionals, and like people looking for resumes and that type of thing. But if they see Ellen's job title change to Plexus Ambassador or something like that, it's going to kind of, I think it notifies people of that. So they'll congratulate you. And I've had a lot of people who saw my stuff on LinkedIn reach over to Facebook and message me going, hey, I'd like to order some of this Plexus stuff you talk about. But again, think about what caused you to be interested. It probably wasn't a graphic. If you think about what it was that made you first interested in joining, probably wasn't a graphic. It was probably something either related to some health issue that you had, or maybe it was an emotional connection with somebody who posted about the business and you needed that for your family, or both. And learn how to Facebook. Facebook, if you just say, hey, I'm going to post, there's specific times of day that are going to get, or the high traffic times that are going to have the most people on. And how to specifically post to your audience, to your friends. Think about your close friends. I want you to think about, maybe even write 5 of your friends down. Are they moms? Do they work outside the home? Do they homeschool? Do they do sports? Are they from your church? How do you know them, and what do you think they need in their family? Are they struggling with health? Are they struggling with finances? Are they struggling with everything? Are they just, sorry, my dog is tripping. Are they looking for purpose? People think, oh, she'll never join my team. They have plenty of money. She's a stay-at-home mom. And we learned this at Super Saturday. Sometimes people are looking for a purpose in their life, and just staying home is not, they don't feel fulfilled. So never prejudge anyone, and post specifically to the audience that you have. Another thing is, if you don't post, people won't know you sell Plexus. People go, oh, well, everybody in my area sells Plexus. And I always ask them this. I'm like, oh, do they? Are they actively selling and working the business? And every time it's no. That does not scare me off, and it should not scare you off. Just because there's a bunch of people in your area who sell Plexus, you need to be the one that's like, I'm going to really work this. So when it's time for people to join, they're not going to Jane over there and Susie over there because they happen to be an ambassador. They're coming to you because they see your stuff on Facebook. So setting that foundation is very, very important. Also, these are kind of things that work without having to really do a whole lot. Be Plexus. If you are really wanting to work this business and add people to your team and grow your business, you need to be Plexus with your swag, with your business cards. If you do not have a Plexus t-shirt or something Plexus on it, I want you to go and order. There's tons of stuff on Etsy. I know there's Facebook pages with people that are ambassadors that sell Plexus shirts and hats and, all that stuff. But be Plexus with your swag. That is the easiest way to bring up Plexus with someone without bringing it up. I have been in public so many times, and even in Disney World, people, this is interesting. You can wear Dallas Cowboy jersey. You can wear it all over town, all over Disney. No one will say one word to you. But if I wore an Alabama hat, people everywhere, Roll Tide. And I like got that while I was in Alabama. I'm not from Alabama. So I'm like, I'm supposed to say something after they say that. I didn't really know what to do, but they are identified. When people see that A, they're like, Roll Tide. And then when I was at Disney World, I wore my Plexus t-shirt, had 3 people in Disney World, I don't even know who they were, all yell, go Plexus. They're yelling that for anything else, but it's going, oh my gosh, there's a Plexus person. And even people that don't know about it, they're going to eventually go, what in the world? What is this Plexus stuff? And you don't even have to bring it up. You can just wear your t-shirt until you feel comfortable. Also, if you're working outside the home and you're like going into an office setting and you're like, oh, I'm not really sure how to bring it up to my coworkers. Pink drink, take it with you every time you walk through the door, have it on your desk. If you go over to someone's cube and you're talking about it, drink it. You can get in conversations like that and have potentials that are going to join your team. Also, be willing to do what it takes to build your team. Don't just talk about how one day you're going to do it and one day you're going to have the nerve to ask someone. You've got to decide this is a business that you really want and that this is very, very worth it. And that's kind of setting the mental foundation. You know, it's not just about, oh, I got to make sure I'm posting, got to make sure I do this. All of these things are critical in getting those people to start trusting you, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But you need to also make sacrifices. If you know who is on The Bachelor and you can name all the characters in Real Housewives, you're wasting time. I've done it, and if you know all the girls on The Bachelor and you do not miss an episode, we got to think, am I using my time? If I really want to do this, and this goes back to decide if this business is worth it. If I really want to work this business and add people to my team, I need to make sacrifices. And, you know, we all have DVR. You can DVR that Bachelor and watch it on the weekend or watch it another time. But make the most of that time that you have in the evening and decide right now, you know what, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to keep continuing to follow up with people. I'm not going to give up no matter how long it takes. And always be in that recruiting mindset of adding people to your team. There's a lot of people out there who they think, oh, if I just can get 5 rock stars on my team, I'm going to kick back in my recliner and I'm going to let them work for me and I'm going to get a check. That's not what this business is about. This business is about building a team, equipping them, helping them to be able to duplicate the business so they can be successful as well. So we need to always have that, always trying to add level ones to our team to make it better. All right, we're going to shift now to action. It's time for action. You know, we've set our foundation. We're posting, we're doing all these things, but now we're going to shift over to what are the action items that I need to start really adding these people. You know, they have to see a visible thing on Facebook. They have to know you're the person I want to go to. You're the person I want to join. So those things are very important related to foundation. So action items. And think about this. The more action you take in your business, the more people will join your team and the faster you will rank up. I call this diamond pace. If you are ready to work this business and put the pedal to the metal, you can put the pedal to the metal for a year and I guarantee you will be a jewel. But pedal to the metal is like full on. And I did a challenge with my coaching team this past week called the 7-Day Challenge. And I came up with new challenges every single day, and it stretched my leaders so much. I think some of them were about to choke me, but every day there was a big challenge, and you had to do the first challenge before you could move on to the second day and be able to qualify to be in that challenge. And it was a fast-paced, pedal to the metal, kind of an intense, like, oh my gosh, I've got to scramble and get this done. I got to reach out. I got to send messages. That is diamond pace. That is a pace that is, we talk about a lot of times our runners. That's, we got a lot of joggers, yeah, I'm going to reach out to them. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to reach out to them tomorrow. Diamonds are like, I'm doing it now. I'm going to reach out to 10 people right now while I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting on my kids to get out of school. Boom. That's what our mindset needs to be if we're going to be in this recruiting diamond pace, adding level ones mode. And just easing along will not grow your team. Easing along, not reaching out to people will not have them reach back out to you to join. Put your 100 list next to your computer so you see it daily. if you're on this call and you're like, what is a 100 list? Your 100 list is 100 people that you want on your team. I would write them down. If you think they're interested in the products or business, write them down. Also, write down a chicken list. I say, write down 10 people who you are absolutely scared to death to reach out to because you're afraid what they'll say back. Write them down and reach out to them. When you just want to scroll Facebook and you're thinking, oh, I'm working. Just remember when we're scrolling Facebook, and that goes for me too, we are not working Facebook. We are not putting action behind our words. But if we have our 100 list sitting by our computer, every time we get on our computer with our mouse, I would put it under your mouse. If you have a mouse, I'm old school, I have a mouse. Put it right next to your computer. So when you want to get on and just scroll, you're like, oh, there's my 100 list. I need to reach out to 5 new people. And five brand new people every day is a standard. If you're wanting to really step it up and do diamond pace, you want to go at a kind of you're like, man, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to get my team rolling. I would reach out to 10 people per day. Depending on how much action you want to put in and how fast you want to build, that's how many people I would reach out to. If you're like, well, I ran out of people, I'd make another list of 100. People are like, well, I don't know that many people. And it's like, you know what? You really do. If you think about all the groups you're a part of, church, school, sports, neighborhood, PTA, we have so many connections with people. We just need to tap into those. And think about this. When you're reaching out to those 5 or 10 people, your cold call message, and this a lot of times freaks people out because they're like, oh, man, I want my team to grow, but I'm just nervous to send that message out. It makes me cringe or makes me sweaty. And y'all, in the beginning, I felt the same way. I was like, ugh, it just kind of gives me angst to have to send a message out because, we're not sure what that other person's going to think. The cold call message needs to be attractive to others. And by this, I mean, if your cold call message, I want you to evaluate it. If your cold call message is longer than a few sentences, it's too long. And I say that because I know if someone sends me a message with like more, I've got to have ADD somewhere. If they send me a message longer than a paragraph, I ain't reading it. It's too long. I ain't got time for that. I need you to hit me with the quick stuff. Tell me what you want to tell me. And especially, thinking about what other network marketing companies do when they're reaching out. They send you a bunch of links. They send you 4 or 5 paragraphs about a testimonial. And then you're looking at a big message that long and you're like, ugh, no thanks. So make it very simple and concise and to the point. I always say my hey girl approach. I try to be as informal as I can just because, number one, that's my personality. And number two, I don't like, and that's me. You have to put your own personality spin on it. I'm like, oh, I want you to get to the point. Tell me what you need to tell me. And I'm kind of like, this is my big message that works the very best. Hey girl, have you ever heard of Plexus? I would love to tell you about it, period. Or, hey girl, I want you to be on my Plexus team, period. Or, have you ever heard of Plexus products? I know you've seen my posts, period. Those are the messages I send out to people. I rarely send anything more than just that. Just because I know someone is going to, when they're looking at our messages, because we all do it. That's the first thing. When we go on Facebook, especially if you're a Plexus ambassador, we're going to check our messages first. We're going to check our email. We might check our email first to see if anybody signed up, but we're going to check our messenger to see if anybody messaged us back and asked us about Plexus or said, hey, I'm interested. So people are going to read their messages, and if you say something where when they immediately pull it up without even opening, they can see, kind of a preview on your email, so to speak. They can see exactly what you're asking them. They're more apt to respond than if you send them, hey, I want to tell you about Plexus. it's a health and wellness supplement, and you, by the time you've gotten through all of it, they haven't read it, and that's going to be shelved, and maybe they'll get back to you later when they have a chance to read all of it. So keep that in mind. Send these messages every day to a new person on that 100 list. And my best advice for this and what I do and what works for me is, you know, if you're kind of like, oh man, I don't want to do it, I'm nervous, I'm scared, send it out late at night before you go to bed. I mean, I'm telling you, that is the best advice that I got from someone. Like, send them out late at night. You send them out, you go to bed, you sleep, you should sleep 8 hours, and you wake up the next day and you're like, I don't feel nervous. I've slept on it. And so it kind of takes away that angst and that nervousness when you send them late at night. And sometimes I've sent out messages late at night, and then the next day I get a response like, I've been meaning to ask you about that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I sent her a message, and it didn't even bother me because I sent it. And then I'm like, I'm getting off the computer. I don't want to know if they saw it, and they're going to just leave me hanging. And all I'm going to do is see that they've seen it. I'm going to go to bed and forget about it. So that's my best advice for that. Also, follow up with the people that you don't hear back from. A lot of times we get kind of hung up in that area where we reach out to someone and maybe they're not at a point where they can respond back, or maybe they're going to think about it, or maybe they're really not interested, but they're not sure how to tell you. And always remember that a non-response is not a no. You know, I've had friends that I'll email back and immediately, within a hot second, they're going, no, not interested, thank you. Boom. I'm going to take them off my list and move down to the next person. But if someone does not respond to me, there's still a potential, and I'm still going to have them on I call it the rotation. I'm going to kick them down the list a little bit, reach out to my new ones, give them a little bit of time. And I say, let's say I reached out to someone tonight and they saw my message tonight, but they did not respond. I'm going to probably let a week or so go by, maybe even 2 weeks, because I'm moving down my list. I'm not waiting for that person to respond back to me before I go on to the next person on my list. I'm going to give them a couple weeks, and then I may check back with them. Just go, hey girl, just following up, something simple. They don't respond, I'm going to probably widen that length of time before I follow back up. Depends on how much you know them. If this is someone you see regularly, I may just gig them about it when I see them. Like, girl, I'm telling you, I'm not even playing. You need to come do this with me. And I try to make it super fun and, you know, not like I'm pressuring people, but I'm like, I want you to come do this with me. Then I'm going to let it kind of sit. But I'm still going to have them on my rotation, and I'm just going to crank on down my list. When a special comes up from the company, they're on my list, and they're going to get that special graphic. If you're running a personal special that you want to private message people, and it's around a time where you're like, you know what, I need to follow up with that person, send them that graphic. If you're like, hey, I'm doing a new product with everybody that joins my team this month, shoot them a private message. And just, again, if they're not saying no, then it's not a no. I have followed up, you know, I've been in this business for 2 years. I have followed up with people for over a year who either didn't message me back, or they just kind of maybe bit on a little bit, and then they never, you know, went MIA. And then they've joined within the last month, you know, 3 months. After talking to them, and I say bugging them, messaging them specials, following up, sending them a testimonial. If, you know, there's a certain medical issue they're struggling with, I'm going to send them a testimonial about another person in Plexus who has seen results from taking the products. I think it's very, very important to not give up on that crucial piece of advice, and that is continue to follow up until someone slams the door in your face. And by that, I mean someone says no, or yeah, go ahead and take me off your list. I do something called my last call email, and I did the other day. I was about to go into Costco, and I sat in the parking lot, and I'm like, you know what? I need to follow up with all these people who have been on my rotation and just find out if they want to be taken off my list. So I sat there in my car, and it took maybe 9-10 minutes, and I voice messaged 16 people. And because, if you go on Messenger, you can push the red button and just start talking and leave a voicemail. So I messaged 16 people and said, this is what I said. Hey, girl. I mean, I say that all the time. I know y'all are probably like, please stop saying that. Hey, girl, I am just running through my list of people I need to follow up with about Plexus, and your name popped up, and I know I've messaged you before, but just wanted to find out if you're interested. I can give you more information. If you're not, just let me know. It won't hurt my feelings, so I can take you off my list. Boom. I sent out 16 messages like that. I heard back from 3 people. One said no, take me off my list. I'll call you in the summer. Like that's happening. One was like, oh yeah, I need to, as soon as I get time, I'm going to join. So that's kind of a maybe. And then one girl immediately said, I'm going on your site right now and I'm joining. So yeah, I sent out 60 messages, got 3 messages back. One was a no and 2 were maybes, and that one joined as a result of my follow-up. That girl that joined, I had messaged with probably 9 months. She wanted to come to an opportunity meeting. She didn't show. She no-showed at the meeting. She wanted information, sent it to her. She went MIA. She wanted a trial pack. She ordered one. She didn't take it. I mean, it was just this back and forth of indecisiveness, or maybe it just wasn't a right time for her financially or whatever with her family. But you know what? That follow-up voicemail got her. She's like, yep, we're doing this now. And so worth it to follow up with the people that do not respond, or even, I'm a person that's like, tell me no to my face and I will move on. I guess that's kind of like a breakup. Break up with me now and I will move on. So having that mentality and taking the action to follow up is going to be something that will help people join your team. And don't hide behind Messenger. I know I did this a lot in the beginning just because I was like, I don't really know what I'm talking about most of the time, and I'm probably rambling, and so I'm going to message. But then some people are phone people. And if you're trying to, especially with this new system, if you're trying to message people on how to join, sometimes you just need to pick up the phone. So if people are going, hey, what all does it entail if I join your team? I would say, you know what? Do you have a couple minutes? It'll take 5 minutes of your time. Let me just talk to you on the phone. It's easier. If people are not into that, some people don't want to do that, cool, message them. But if people are willing to talk on the phone, hearing someone's voice that's like, yeah, all right, that sounds cool. So my products will come every month, $34, okay. All right, yeah, let's do it. And then I'm going to say at the end of that call, all right, do you have time now? I can walk you through the process over the phone. That's how I'm going to end that call. Can I, I'll help you walk you through the process over the phone. If I'm on Messenger with someone, I will ask them, cool, is there any other questions I can answer for you? And if they're like, no, I think I'm good. I was like, okay, are you by a computer? I can help. I'm available now to walk you through the process of joining. I think it's very important to help people walk through that process with you, either on the phone or on Messenger, because think about the first time you went on, you're like, okay, what welcome pack? Okay, she said Triplex. Okay, Triplex, put it in my cart. Okay, what button? Okay, push the gray button. All right, what is my website? What I do? To be there to answer questions and get them through the process. And then I'm like, okay, let's, try to log into your back office and let's get you there. So very important when you're talking to a potential, at the end of that conversation, offer, hey, I have some time now if you want to join, or if you want to check back, totally fine. Just give them the opportunity. So those things have really worked well for me. All right, we're going to move down into some other action items that deal with a little bit more of the fear, and then we'll hit consistency, and then we'll be done. But I saw this graphic posted on Instagram the other day, and it was everything you want is on the other side of fear. And, we see a lot of things posted, a lot of graphics, inspirational stuff. on Facebook, but this really spoke to me. And because a lot of people are dealing with fear, and fear, which we're going to talk about, will kill your business. So overcoming it is a daily thing that we all have to work on taking action against. And, we cannot let fear, if you're wanting to, because the number one fear in this business is reaching out to people and asking them to join your team. If we can get past that fear, our teams will grow, because my dog's tripping again. So don't let fear kill your business, because it absolutely will. And remember this, fear and discouragement are cousins. We are scared to reach out, so we don't. Then our team doesn't grow. Then we get discouraged. And it's a cycle. We don't reach out. And the more we don't reach out, then the more fear we're going to have the next time we do reach out. So taking these action steps every day and constantly reaching out is going to push you past that fear barrier. Because think about this. If you reach out to 5 people today, and I've had people on my coaching page tell me this, oh my gosh, I just reached out to 5 people. One was my chicken lister, and she emailed back and she wants to join. It's like, oh my gosh, I love when I get those messages, because it was like they were scared to death. You're sweating, palms are sweaty. You send that message and you're like, oh my gosh, I did it. But I'm telling you, you have to overcome that fear barrier. And remember, no's build character, and they make you stronger, and they make that next message. If you reach out to someone and you're like, ugh, I hated that message I sent. That's so dumb. I do that every once in a while. I'm like, she's going to think that sounds so stupid. I mean, I am critical of myself. And so I'll send something and go, oh man, she's really, really smart. I should have included this or that. But if someone says no, take it in stride. I'm guarantee you, they make you stronger. And this is a big one to remember. We don't want, and especially for me, I'm a people pleaser, and words of affirmation are my love language. And so when someone doesn't think I did a good job, or they say harsh words to me, it really, really cuts me. And so I think we have to think about this, because the more we reach out to people, the more apt we are to get someone that says something negative to us or kind of hurts our feeling by how they say no. And so remember this. This is very, very key, that I had to live through it and work through it during my Plexus journey. And I still have to. When people are rude and tear you down, a lot of times it's family. A lot of times it's those people closest to you that make jabs about your business, or maybe they just never affirm you or say, man, you're really rocking it. Even if they're not interested, they should love you for what you're doing and be supportive. But if people are tearing you down, and I've had people reach out to me and say people in their family or their closest friends were saying negative things and trying to discourage them. And you know why they are like that is because they are jealous of your happiness. They're jealous of your success. And they're just jealous that you found something that's amazing, and they're prideful and don't want to give in and talk about it. So remember that. If people don't care, if they're like, that's stupid, they're not going to bother taking the time to message you and tell you how much they think this is awful or whatever it is. They're not going to take the time. I know for me, if I just straight up don't care about something, I'm not going to put any time and effort into it. So remember that when you're going through discouragement and fear. And I have this question. It was a great question the other day. So let's say that you have a bunch of college friends that you want to reach out to join your team. But you're like, I haven't talked to them in a long time. So is it right to go ahead and fire off a Plexus message when I haven't talked to them in a long time? And my best thing is this is what I do. I'm going to reach out to them, and I'm not going to talk about Plexus. I'm like, girl, oh my gosh, you look the same as you did in college. Or you look the same as you did in high school. What on earth? This is nuts. And then a lot of times we'll talk back and forth about, do you remember so-and-so? Where is she? Oh, and you can kind of talk about old times in a Plexus message. And then maybe go, what are you doing? Where are y'all now? If y'all are in Oklahoma, what are you doing? And that's how you start that conversation, because eventually if you say, hey, what have y'all been up to? They're going to go, well, I just had my third baby and my husband's loving his job and I'm, just floating right along, doing great. How are you? Oh, I'm awesome. I just started this plexus bit. So there's your opening to bring it up. But I would go non-plexus in the beginning. If you have people that you're like, not sure how to bring it up, I say not bring it up and then bring it up. Talk about something non-plexus at first. I find that, I said this earlier, those that are most fearful are usually stalled out in their business, and they've kind of hit a wall because they can't bust through that fear. And, and like I said earlier, the more we don't reach out, the more our business is going to stall out. The thing that makes you grow is reaching out to the new people. And you're never going to see growth in your business. And, at times of my business when I'm like, I come home and I'm like, okay, I haven't reached out to anybody today. I need to make sure and do that. So I tried to make it a daily routine. And, if we do not take risks, we will not grow. And I'm like, well, I'm so worried about what she's going to say. What if she says no? And I'm like, so somebody says no, that is not going to be the end of the world. And if you look at your Facebook list, it's not the case every time, but for a lot of people, if they say something like, no, thanks, not interested, number one, they may come back around later. And, if they're saying no now, they're going to be watching your post because they're like, what's this plexus? What's a big deal? They're going to be watching you now. You probably have all heard that Facebook has these algorithms that if you're interacting with someone on Messenger, you're going to immediately be linked to them with the news feed. So if you're reaching out to someone and talking to them, then they're going to start seeing your post and you're going to start seeing their post. So very, very important to connect with people on Messenger. And the more action you take, the less fear you'll have. The more you reach out to these people, the more you hit that list, they may say no, and then 3 weeks down the road, they go to the doctor and they're like, oh gosh, got on that scale. Oh my gosh, I'm going to call Ellen. This is it. I'm done. I'm going to go I'm getting that stuff. I'm going to get healthy. So the more we're reaching out, it may be a no right then. It may be, not really interested right now. But you know what? They're going to watch your post. And the more you post, the more you reach out, the more you follow up, they're going to eventually come around. They may not all jump on, but they're going to be watching you. So remember this too. People are out there praying for this opportunity. They're praying for the products. They're praying for health. And I heard someone say on a call, it's like people are not laying awake at night worrying about their health most times. Some are. Some people are very, very sick. The majority of people are laying awake at night worried about finances and how they are going to make the bills every month. That is why the fear to reach out to people should be just busted right there, because people are out there praying, God, please help us find a way to pay for this. Help us find a way to get healthy. Help me just to be the mom I need to be. And if our fear is causing them, our fear could be causing them to have a blessing blocked for them because we did not reach out to them. So keep those things in mind. Okay, we're going to go right into consistency, which is probably, this is my claim to fame. This is the thing that that's my personality. That's how I was raised. I was raised in a very consistent Christian home. And that is my safe zone, is consistency. And you can guarantee that consistent action creates consistent results. If you are consistently reaching out to brand new people every day, consistently every single day, you will build a team and you will have residual income that you never, ever dreamed possible. But it's all about consistency. So consistent, and I'll zip through these. So posting and reaching out daily. I probably do this Monday through Friday. A lot of times on the weekends, I'm out and about with my family, and but I'm going to consistently do these things every Monday through Friday. I'll probably post a couple times on the weekend. Sunday nights are really, really hot for people buying Plexus, so probably going to post. But every day, post 3 to 5 times a day, and reach out to new people every single day. People see how serious you are by how consistent you are. You know, a lot of people, you know, I saw a girl the other day, she jumped out. I'd asked her to join Plexus, and she decided to go do something else. She jumped out there, was posting, and then all of a sudden dropped off the face of the earth. She stopped. So it's like, even if I was going to buy something from her, I wouldn't buy it from her because obviously she doesn't like it. She must not sell it anymore if she's not even talking about it. If you're sporadic in these actions and sporadically post or sporadically reach out to people, they're going to see you as this is just a hobby and you're not really a big believer of it and you're not really passionate about it. If you consistently do these things every day, they're going to believe you, they're going to see your passion, and they're going to trust you. So when you're reaching out to them or they see you like consistently doing these things, when it comes time to order, they're coming to you because you are showing them that this is not just a side business. This is not just a hobby, or you're not just doing it on the side. This is a real legitimate business, and these are real products that are changing lives. And don't quit after you get your first no. A lot of people will post on Facebook, come out of the gate and guns blazing, and they'll post and no one will reach out to them and respond to their post. So they're like, nobody reached out to me, so I'm not doing that again. I think about this. What if I quit after my first no? I'd still be working at my job, staring at a wall, waiting till 5:30, 6 o'clock to get my kids from daycare. If I quit after someone said no to me, I just took that as, well, I'm going to go get somebody else. I'm going to turn that around. I'm like, okay, good. You said no. Stings a little bit because you're my friend. But you know what? Going down my list, I'm going to get somebody else to come do this with me because this is worth it. And this is key. Consistently reaching out to people. If you don't ask people to join your team, they're not going to. We can only post. Posting will only get you so far. If people like, I want people to come to me, I don't want to reach out to them, that's only going to get you so far, then you're going to hit a wall. You have to ask them consistently. And present the business opportunity to every person every time. Even if someone's like, I don't want to join, I just want to order. Awesome. Here you go. Let me get you started on your products. I'm going to check back with them when they get their products. Hey girl, what'd you get? All right, I got Triplex. Okay, well, here's how I recommend you take those. Here's a graphic to get you started. And then I'm going to check in with them on day 3 or 4. How are you liking your products? Are you able to take them consistently? Oh, I love the taste of this stuff. That's probably the number one thing I hear is people saying, man, this stuff tastes good. I guess people are expecting it to taste bad. So when they taste it, like, ooh, I like this stuff. Then I'm going to hit them. Girl, if you love it, you need to join. It's just cheaper. And I'm going to let it go. They're like, oh, okay, yeah. Then going to let a week or so go by. I'm going to check back in on them halfway in between. Hey, how's it going? Girl, I can't believe this, but I'm sleeping better and I'm not drinking Dr. Pepper anymore. I'm like, you really need to join. I'm just saying. Then I'm going to leave them alone. Then when it gets time and they're going, oh, I need to order again, I'm going to hit them again. Why don't you just join and then you can get your products in a welcome pack. That way, if you want to order some other stuff, you're going to get commissions. And if you want to tell some friends, you're going to get commissions as well. That's how you talk to those customers. You got to follow up with them throughout their whole time of them, their month when they take their products. But I hit them a couple of times and I don't hammer them with it. I'm just going to throw it out there. so that they can decide, yeah, I might do that, or I don't want to do it. It may take you a couple months to have someone decide they want to join, but it's worth it to follow up. Always having our mindset of build, build, build. We don't want to, sign up 3 people and then go, all right, they better run. I'm going to chill and let them run. We need to constantly be in that mindset of asking more people to join us in this journey, and come do it with us. Come see the difference that you're going to feel. Come get blessed by this company, but we need to constantly be thinking along those lines. Also, follow up until you get a no. Like I said, keep following up. That has benefited me huge. I would say within the last, probably this month, I have signed 5 new level 1s this month. And, I didn't start talking to them this month. One of them, I did not really know that well. She knew my parents, but different story. But 4 of those people I've been talking to, I would say 6 months or longer. And they decided to join this month. But it was that constant follow-up and interaction and sending them the specials and doing all those things that we've talked about tonight. So find out, is it worth it to you to keep, even though you don't hear one word, keep following up consistently. And remember, the more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to get. And a lot of times, consistently, a lot of those no's turn into yeses. I've seen it, I've lived it, and it happens. But the more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to get. Because if you're like, I'm on a mission today to get 3 people to say no to me. So that means maybe you have to send out 25 messages. And 3 people said no. 3 people go, oh, you know what? Well, tell me about y'all's probiotic. That's worth it. Yeah, it's 25 people. Sometimes I think I told y'all, I sent out 60 messages one time during a Cowboy game, because obviously the Cowboys are horrible and I wanted to spend my time wisely. So I sent out 60 messages, and one time I got 1 response back, and that 1 person joined. Worth it. Send out 60 messages and it was worth it because 1 person joined my team. And ask people, do that. I do this regularly. If I haven't heard from someone in a long time, I'll say, hey girl, you ready for Plexus yet? That's all I'll say. And they can respond yes, no, or leave it blank. And take potentials. If you have people that are on the fence, we all have them. It's like, come on, people, make a decision. Just do it. Invite them to every event you can. If it's an online event, tag them in it, get them invited. If you're going to an event, take them with you, offer to buy their meal, offer to drive them there, go with them to the event. Don't just tag them in a post or go, hey, you should jump on this call, or hey, you should do this. Take them with you, jump on the call with them, so afterwards you can talk about it. Like, hey, do you have any questions? Or, let's talk about, you need to do this, come on. But that follow-up and like support with them, so they don't feel like, okay, I just went to this meeting and I don't know anybody here. And they're texting you going, girl, I don't know anybody here and I don't know what to do. Go with them and sit with them and, validate their desire to know more. And have daily non-Plexus conversations with people on Messenger. That was kind of that college roommate, high school friend that you haven't talked to in a long time. Have non-Plexus conversations with them to get them kind of like, number 1, in your news feed, and number 2, to see if y'all can talk about, work Plexus into the conversation, but start it out in a non-Plexus environment. We just talked about my 16 voicemail messages that were like kind of last call type things. Remember this, if you're not consistent, your business will plateau, decline, and flake out. I've seen this many, many times. People come out and they're like, I want to do this. And they do it for like a month. And then they're like, yeah, I need to get better at that. Consistently doing these things day in and day out will turn into level 1s joining your team. And I'll end with this. Try this for the next 7 days. Get back with your sponsor. Get back with whoever invited you to this call. And for the next 7 days, what's today? Monday? So do this Monday to Monday. Be consistent. Reach out to brand new people every single day. Talk to those friends that start out with non-plexus talk and conversation, and build those relationships, and just see how your business takes a turn. I guarantee you those level ones are going to come if you're doing these 3 things consistently. So that is all I have for y'all tonight. I'm still in the process of adding more to this presentation, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, it is recording. So as soon as it takes a while for it to upload to my Dropbox. So as soon as it does, I will put this on our team page so we'll be able to access it later. But thank you guys so much, and we will talk to you later. Bye, y'all. Are y'all still on? Y'all have a great night.
Thank you so much.